I'm just starting recording. Which start I can start on it. It will taking time. So today I am discussing your Bayes theorem. So this theorem says that if we have your E1, E2, so on, En are mutually exclusive events and exhaustive events. Exclusive means they are separate to each other. Exhaustive means their combination. They all mutually make a complete event or you complete sample space. With probability of each of event are not equal to 0 of a random experiment. So these are the event from us random experiments, right? Then for any arbitrary events A, so it's say like this has your one is your random experiment or you, which has sample space you may say S, and your E1 E2 is like this, your E1 E2 E3 E4 like this. These are the your mutually exclusive and exhaustive event. I am writing here up to E5 only, right? So you might take it more than that, right? So after that we have the some mutually exclusive your events, right, and exhaustive events, so that the combination of these make this your sample space. So better understanding, we may take more events like we may assume this like this. Yeah, suppose this is your E1, this is your E2, this is your E3, maybe your E4, maybe your E5 and E6. Like this, these are better, so that because it's clearly visible, the combination of these all E1, E2 is your complete sample space S. So we just assume that these are the E1, E2, and E3. So this is E2 and this is your E3. So on. So this is your E suppose 4, 5, and E6, right? Just a naming. So then arbitrary event A of sample space means this same sample space there is a one arbitrary event of the above experiment, that's for same experiment, with your probability of A is greater than 0. So it assumes that we have one more experiment that is like something like this. So if you see this experiment, this is your A, it takes some part of your E1, E2, E3, so on. This is assumed as your event A. Now, the Bayes theorem says that if you are interested to find the probability of your EI, it may be E1, it may be E2. So, probability of EI A1 means probability of this event when A is already occurred, which is equal to, by this theorem, probability of EI into probability of A by EI divided by summation probability of EI into probability of A by EI. So if you see here and summation of this, that is your total cases, right? So if you see here, here we have A by EI and here we have EI by A. So A means probability of A when E1 or EI is already occurred. And this means your probability of EI when A is already occurred. So for the proof of your Bayes theorem, let S be the sample space. We define this as your sample space. With your event, your E1, E2, E3, and your E4. Similarly, E5 and E6 are your events. So on N. all are exhaustive. Exhaustive means if we add or combine your these E1, E2, E3, they make the sample space S. There may be some common also, like this. Yeah, E1 and E2 something has some common elements also. So we assume this A, that is arbitrary event, in a such a way that obvious A intersection S is your A, because A is a part of your sample space S. That means it is a subset of your sample space S. Now S can be written as your linear combinations, or you say union of your E1, E2, E3, En. Now we use here distributive law. A intersection E1, A intersection your E2, A intersection En solved with their joining with your unions. Now if we find the probability of A, that means probability of the right hand side. And one more thing here, these are thus mutually exclusive. So exclusive means there is nothing common between these. So this line not, we have covered this, that as E1 and E2 has nothing common. So E2 is up to here. No element are common in this, because these are also given mutually exclusive. Now these are mutually exclusive. That means there is nothing common between your E1 and E2 or so on. So if we take the probability of right hand side, if we have the union is there, so we know that in case of your probability of A union B, we can write this as your probability of A. This can be written as probability of A plus, in case of union, or you say, or we can use your plus sign. So intersection we use multiplication sign. So this is your probability of A plus probability of B. So similarly here we have all these are in your union and all also are mutually exclusive. So in case of mutually exclusive, we can just use the separate probability and their additions. So probability of first plus probability of A intersection E2 plus so on. Now this is your intersection between these two. So we know that in case of the intersection of the probability of A intersection B, we can find the probability of these two separately with using the multiplication sign. That is your probability of A into your probability of B. But we use your probability of B back when these are the independent event. But if they are depending upon each other, we may say probability of B A is already occur or already happen, right? So in this case, here A intersection E. So as A is a common between these, right? So obvious there is some relation between your A and E1 and so on. So this can be written as your also intersection. You know that you can write your A intersection B as your B intersection A also, right? Both are same thing. So first we write your A intersection B into your B intersection A. So then we can find the probability of your first, that is E1, into probability of your this second after replacing their position first, right, by using this condition. So then probability of A and A when your E1 is already happened. Similarly, plus probability of E2 into probability of A when E2 already happened, so on. And for this, we have the same factors in each term with summation sign. We can write this as summation I1 to N probability of EI into probability A by EI, right? Hope so this point is clear. Now, also this year, again we can consider this one. Probability of A intersection EI can be written as your probability of A, that is first one, into probability of second, and this second also depending upon first, because both are dependent. Because A is random experiment as given in a statement of this sample space, right? So this complete sample space, this is your random experiment A we have. So here the probability of A into probability of I. EI means here we may have E1, may have E2, may have E3, so on. Conditionally, A is already occurred. So for this, we can rewrite this, or you say we shift this PA to the left hand side. So it can be written as your probability of EI by A is equal to probability of A intersection EI divided by probability of A. And probability of A we already calculated here, that is summation of PEI into PA by EI. Also, we use your this can be written as your probability of EI. This can be written as your this probability of EI intersection probability of A. Sorry, not probability. This is A. Just we rewrite your A intersection B as your B intersection A. So this can be probability of first one, that is EI. This one into probability of A when EI already happened. So you just remember this as a result of your Bayes theorem. So this is very important and useful theorem. You also know the derivation, its definition is also important. Now we can discuss few example on this for your better understanding. So here you also get the idea what is the meaning of your A by EI and EI by A. So that give you clear understanding in your example. So first example is your a bag X contains 2 white and 3 red balls. A bag Y contains 4 white and 5 red balls. So we have 2 bags here. So one ball is drawn at a random from one of the bags. So now we have 2 bags, but we can choose one bag and then where we draw the one ball, right? So which one is that? That may be your first bag, it may be your second bag. And found that ball we drawn is found to be red. The ball should be red actually. So find the probability it was drawn from your bag Y. So if you see here we have 2 bags, so we may assume that your E1 is the event when ball is drawn from your first bag, that is X, and E2 is the event if ball drawn from your second bag, right? So try to understand the thing, just what is the EI by A and what is the AI by E. Just try to understand these two things. That is the only the important concept of Bayes theorem. What is the meaning of these two here? So A is your case from over the sample space, that is your, you can say your ball is drawn should be red. So this is your A event. A condition imposed on that ball should be red. So we assume your is random event, that ball is your red. Now two things is possible when you draw a ball. You choose ball from first bag and conditionally that is red. That should be, so I may write here 1. So here it means the ball is drawn from bag X. So it may be white here, because in first bag we have 2 white, 3 red. So it may be white, it may be red, but we impose a condition that it should be red. It should be red, right? So another thing, a ball is red. So red ball, it may come from your first bag, it may come from your second bag. But we impose the condition it should be from your particular bag, that may be first or that may be second. So that is a difference between your EI by A and A by EI. So now you know that you can solve this by your Bayes theorems. So we are interested to find out that, find the probability that was drawn from second bag. So probability of your second bag, but what is drawn from second bag? Conditionally should be red. So ball drawn from second bag, we are interested to find the probability ball drawn from second bag, but conditionally that should be red. So oblique or divide by A, or you say E2 by A, conditionally that is your red. So by the definition of Bayes theorem, it should be your E2, and just reverse this, that it's A by E2. So here A by E2 means your probability of red ball, but conditionally from second bag. Divided by both the cases you write here, that is your probability of E1 into probability of A by E1 plus probability of E2 A by E2. Now, so we require probability of E1 and E2. E2 and E1 are, we have the ball drawn from your X bag. Now we have two bags. So obviously probability of both the bag are equal. So you may choose first bag, you may choose second bag. Chances of choosing these bags are equal. Or you may say for the first E1 we have one even X bag and total cases are two, that is X and Y. So probability is 1 by 2. Similarly for drawing a ball from second bag, as we have two bag only, first is your right one and total bags are 2, so probability is your 1 by 2. So chance of choosing the bags are equally likely, so that is probability are equal for both the bags, that is your 1 by 2. So now probability of your this one A by E2 and A by E1. So probability of red ball conditionally from first bag. So in first bag we have total ball are 5, but red are 3. So conditionally red means favorable cases are red ball. So that is your 3 by 5. Similarly A by E2, that means your probability of your red ball conditionally from second bag, that is total ball are 4 white and 5 red, that is 9. But red are 5, so it should be your 5 by 9. Now we have all the probability. Just put in your formula. PE2 is your 1 by 2. PA by E2 is your 5 by 9. Similarly, these are same as above. This one is same as above. And this is probability of E1 into probability of A by E1, that is 3 by 5. After solving, it is your 25 by 52. Keep in mind your probability is always less than 1. So we may choose another example for this. In a bolt factory machine, A, B, C manufacture respectively 25%. When we talking about 25%, so 25% means 25 from 100. So in case of the probability, it should be from 1 only. So we can divide this by 100. So it is 0.25. So when we say probability, it should be from 1. When you say percentage, it should be from the 100. Hope so everyone know. So here the machine A, B, C manufacture respectively 25, 35 and 45 of the total. So whatever is the total doesn't matter here. Out of these total, machine A manufacture 25 of total percent, B 35% and C your 40%. So of their output, out of this 5%, 4%, 2% are defective bolts. So machine manufactures some bolts, out of which 5% manufactured by machine A are defective, 4% manufactured by B, and respectively 2% by C are defective bolt. Now a bolt is drawn. Now we choose one bolt drawn at random for the product, combined product or mix, that is maybe from A, maybe from B, maybe from C. But when you draw one bolt, you found to be a defective. So see, this is your random event. Out of bolt, this is random. It should be defective. So defective may be from manufactured by A, maybe B, maybe C. So what is the probability that it was manufactured by machine B? We are interested to find the probability of machine B, that bolt should be from machine B, conditionally defective. That means your random event is your A is defective, so that B by A, or if you say bolt from machine B is your event, you may represent by E1, E2 and E3. So let's go to the solution. So E1, E2, E3 denote the event that a bolt selected or chosen, you say, at random is manufactured by machine A, B, C. So we are studying the probability of event, not the machine A, B, C, right? So event is you draw a bolt manufactured by machine A, B, C, and their event represented by here E1, E2, E3. And a random event, here we represent random event by H, denote the event it's being defective. So bolt is defective, that is random event. So what is the probability you can choose the bolt is from first machine, maybe from second, it may be for third. Here probability are not same because percentage manufactured by the A is 25% of total production, 35 for B and 40% manufactured by the C. So if we divide this by 100, it gives you a 0.25, which is the probability E1. That means bolt manufactured by a machine A. Similarly, 0.35 and 0.40 manufactured by machine C. The event E3 probability is your 0.4. Now we choose that here the probability of drawing the defective bolt. So what is the probability of defective bolt? So it's given here. Out of total production, we no need to go for the productions, so we just have the percentage is there, the bolt defective by the machine respectively, that is 5%, 4% and 2%. So probability of defective, right, H is defective from which machine? It should be from A machine, that means event is your E1. So just check your machine E. So E machine obvious manufactured whatever it manufactured, that is 100%. So out of this 100%, 5% is defective, given it is 5%. So 5% means 0.05 are defective. So that is probability. Similarly, for your this defective from your second, that is E2, is 4%, that is 0.04. Similarly, from 3, it is 0.02. So now we are interested to find the probability that it was manufactured by machine H. Sorry, machine B. B means your second. So we are interested to find the probability of your bolt drawn from second machine, that is E2. But we have one condition here, that bolt should be defective, that is your H. So this can be solved by Bayes theorem, that is your E2 into H by E2 divided by probability of E1 into H by E1 plus probability of E2 into probability of H by E2 plus probability of E3 into probability of H by E3. So just put all these respective probability. After solving, you get the probability which is your 0.41. That means probability of your bolt manufacturing by second machine that should be defective is your 0.41. Now we may go for your one more example. The contents of urn 1, 2, 3 are as follow. So it contain your first bag contain, first urn contain your 1 white, 2 black, 3 red. Similarly, second contain 2 white, 1 black, 1 red ball, and third 4 white, 5 black and 3 red. So obviously we drawn the ball from this, or drawing the ball is your event. If it drawn from your first bag, it is your E1. From second bag, it is your E2. From third bag, if we choose, that is E3. So urn is chosen. So first we choose the urn. So urn chosen may be first, that is even probability. Second E2, third E3 are events, right? And 2 balls are drawn. So here we drawn two balls. That is the event. The two ball drawn from your first bag is your even event. So second bag E2, third bag E3, right? So bag chosen is your event, right? Maybe first, second, or third. Then you can draw two balls. They happen to be white and red. So we impose condition here that one should be white, one should be red. So this condition is a randomly imposed on all three cases, E1, E2, E3, right? So that is your random. So we can calculate here. So we have choose your first bag, second bag, third bag. So obvious the chance of choosing a bag are same. That is your 1/3 because total are three bags we have. So now question says find the probability that they come from your first, second, and third arms. So we needed to find three cases here. All three probabilities we needed to find. That is E1 by A, E2 by A, and E3 by A. Because from the first, second, and third, all three is asking. So we require all three probabilities. So for that we require A by E1, A by E2, A by E3. So in your first bag we have total balls are, just count here, 1, 2, 3, 6. So choosing two ball from 6 combinations are 6C2. And we have conditionally one is white and second is red. So when you say and or intersection we use multiply. Keep in mind for and we use multiply. So total white ball in first bag are 1. So we may write one ball and we choose 1. Red ball are 3. So total red ball are 3, but we choose only one red ball. So we just solve this combination. We know that this is your 1. And you can solve this also, that is your 3. And this is your 50. It is 6 factorial divided by 4 factorial into 2 factorial. So I think this is your 13 by 15. So sorry, 3 by 15. So we can cancel this. That is your 1 by 5. So similarly, you can calculate your remaining. That is your probability of your one white, one red ball from your second bag. So in second bag, we have total balls are 2, 1, 1, 4 total balls. So we can choose total cases 4C2 and one white and one should be red. So total white ball are 2. So total red ball are 1. So you solve this only, you get your result. And similarly for your A by E3. So if you see for probability of A by E3, we see here 4 white ball. So one should be white out of this 4. So 4C1. So right. It's 4 C1 into red is 3. So we may write 3 C1. So here we have 4 white and 3 red. And total are 4, 5, 9 plus 3, 12. So 12 C2 because we require 2 balls in total. So just solve this, nothing special. After solving, you get this probability also, that is 2 by 11. So now you have the all probabilities. Now for your E1 by A, you just write E1 first, then reverse this probability of A by E1. Divided by all combinations. One is the same. In another, you just replace 1 by 2. So this is, in third, we have replaced E1 by E3. So write these corresponding values, and after solving, you get 33 by 180. Similarly, for probability of your E2 by A and E3 by A, you can calculate easily. Also, you get the clear idea about your Bayes theorem. This is very important theorem of your conditional probability. So we also discuss your 3 examples on this. So you can try a few more for your convenience or your improvement, right? So okay, I am stopping here. Thank you for listening. Have a good day. Bye.